Good morning. I know I'm like super late. Happy Halloween. Happy Monday. Getting stuff together this morning. Tomorrow morning early, I head to Fort Lauderdale, Florida to crew my first in-person Tony Robbins event in 3.5 years. Holy cow. It has been a long time, and it's going to be great to actually see everybody in person as opposed to on video. I can't wait. So, there's a lot of talk these days in the United States about billionaires and about there's a lot of negative stuff going on about billionaires. There's some positive stuff going on about billionaires. The reality is most billionaires will tell you that they did get a little bit of a lucky ticket. And that's true almost every time, except that the lucky ticket was put on top of somebody that had a significant vision and took significant action towards the achievement of that vision. And a lot of times they started out with the intent of becoming a billionaire, like Mark Cuban or Jobs. Jobs didn't care about money, but because of what he wanted to accomplish, it would result in him being that wealthy. Certainly, Bill Gates wanted to be a billionaire. Then a lot of them didn't decide to become a billionaire until after they kind of got going. That's Grant Cardone, and that's a lot of these other guys but they did decide, I'm going to be incredibly financially independent. I'm going to create a financial machine that not only takes care of me, it takes care of my family. And then as they got going, all of a sudden they could conceptualize, well, now I see how I could get to $1 billion. And then they decided, okay, now I'm going to become $1 billion. But before they became the billionaire, they did in fact decide, I'm going to become a billionaire. And they took huge amounts of action towards that outcome. So one of my favorite Tonyisms of late is when somebody says, I don't know where to begin. And he says, take a rock, throw it in the air, wherever it lands, start there. And I love that because that message, and I think it's very appropriate for a Monday, shows that the people that accomplish significant things, they know what they want and they take incredible amounts of action. They don't just sit there hoping that whatever's going to happen is going to happen. No matter what it is in their life, whatever, finances, career, relationships, whatever, they don't just sit there and hope. They take tons of action and they learn. They constantly are learning to get closer to the result that they're looking for. And that activity for them doesn't stop. They go and they go and they go and they go. And then somebody looks back and says, wow, they got a lucky ticket. Well, okay, maybe they got a little bit of a lucky ticket and that got them to $1 billion, but that's half of them. Half of them didn't get a lucky ticket. They just got there. And the half that got the lucky ticket, they'd have been worth $100 million or $200 million even without the lucky ticket. The lucky ticket got them into the 3, 4, 5 billion. So, okay, the lucky ticket made them a billionaire, but they would have been significantly financially independent. Why does Lamborghini and Rolls-Royce and all those not advertise on the Super Bowl? Because the people that buy those vehicles aren't watching football on a regular basis. They don't have big screen TVs. They have books. They go to seminars. They're constantly learning. Somebody asked Mark Cuban what his day was like not that long ago, and he talked about how many hours a day he spends reading. Reading to get ready for the show that he does, reading to check in on all of his businesses. And somebody came up to Mark Cuban when he was broke and just starting his first network and said, you're going to enter the Millionaires Club doing all of this. And he looked at him and said, I'm going to be in the Billionaires Club. And at the time, he didn't have hardly a dime. He was basically broke. So people who achieve significant successes, it isn't an accident. It might be an accident that they got from 200 million to 4 billion, but it's not an accident that they were in a position for that to happen to them. They weren't sitting, watching nothing on television and all of a sudden somebody handed them a ticket. When that does happen, most of the time, the people that end up with that type of money, AKA lottery winners, in a few years it's gone because they didn't earn it, so they don't feel like they deserve it. There's a psychological approach that needs to happen. There's a psychological shift that needs to happen. And when you earn it, that shift happens. So it's Monday morning. The way to begin is to just begin and know what you want and start taking significant, massive action. And as you go, you're going to see, am I getting closer? Am I getting further away? If what you're doing isn't working, then change your approach until you find something that starts getting you closer. And if you want to speed up that process, then you model. You find somebody else who has achieved the result that you want, do what they do, and chances are that you're going to get the same results. So the same seeds, you're going to get the same results. We've talked about this again and again and again. The reason is because it's the path that everybody who is successful in whatever they are successful takes. Now, somebody else's path might not work for you, but there's more than one way. There's thousands of ways to become financially independent. There's thousands of ways to get into shape for the rest of your life. So if you want to lose 40 pounds and get into great shape and you try one method and it doesn't work, then try another method. But don't reinvent the wheel. There's no need to do that. If you've tried the stock market approach and that hasn't worked for you, then try the real estate approach. If you've tried the real estate approach and that doesn't work for you, then maybe it's for you is to run your own business. Whichever it is, that the outcomes are the same. It's the path that you want to get there, but there's no need to reinvent the wheel in order to get there. Figure out what somebody else has done and do what they do. And it's not the system as much as it is the activity. We all think that if we get a better system, that it's going to work out better. Typically, it's not the system. Typically, it's you got to execute on the system. And the people that achieve results, no matter what they are, whether it's physical, whether it's financial, whether it's relationships, whatever it is, they take the steps in order to achieve those outcomes every day. They do something every day. If you're going to stay in shape for the rest of your life, you don't work out for 3 weeks and then you're done. You work out for the rest of your life. It becomes part of who you are. If you want to have a great relationship, then that becomes part of who you are. You take the steps to make sure that relationship grows every day, and you nurture it and you protect it and you make it a priority. If you want financial independence, then you take the steps every day in order to achieve financial independence. And that's the one that's the most simple. Spend less than you make, invest the rest. Don't ever touch principal. Let it grow in a system that works. Pick your system, whatever it is. But that's the process that everybody who becomes financially independent does. Everybody. So there's your system. The big thing is you got to execute on the system. You want to lose weight, take in less calories than you burn. Not complicated to lose weight. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's not complicated. So as Monday starts, throw your rock in the air. Wherever it lands, start from there and make it a great week. And I'll talk to you tomorrow morning from either O'Hare or Fort Lauderdale, depending upon how much the plane is on time. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.